Good morning everyone. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic, that is agriculture, that is from class 10th geography. We will discuss what are the important points firstly, and then we will discuss subchapter by subchapter, topic by topic. Is it clear? Okay. Class 10th geography. This is the chapter name. Chapter number 4, agriculture. Agriculture. In this topic, we need to discuss nearly 6 main subtopics. First, in this first topic, we need to discuss about, that is the first topic is introduction. In this introduction, we need to discuss about the thing is, what is agriculture, and then importance of the agriculture. After that, second subtopic, that is types of farmings. Types of farming. Farming means cultivation. How many types of cultivations are there? Based on the purpose of cultivation, there are 2 types. The first one is subsistency farming. Subsistency, it means we are producing crops for the self-consumption only. Second type, that is for commercial farming. It means we are producing crops for the commercial purpose, means marketing purpose, for selling purpose. Is it clear? Coming to in this subsistence farming also, there are 2 types. First one is primitive. Primitive means very old one. And second one is intensive subsistence farming. Intensive subsistence farming. We will discuss one by one. It is about types of farming. There are nearly 2 types of farming. Again, first type of farming, subsistence farming, is again divided into 2 types. First one is intensive, second one is primitive. Coming to third subtopic, in this third subtopic, we need to discuss about cropping patterns or cropping seasons. In our chapter, there are 3 seasons. First, Rabi, Kharif, and Zaid season. In this subtopic, we need to discuss about what is the sowing season, sowing month, what is harvesting month, and also second point, what type of crops they are producing or cultivating crops, and then geographical location, in which state Rabi crop is cultivating, and which state Kharif crop is cultivating, and which state Zaid crop is cultivating. We need to discuss geographical distribution also in this third subtopic. Coming to fourth subtopic, that is about major crops produced by Indian farmers. Major crops. Nearly in this subtopic, we need to discuss about 15 types of crops. In this, we need to discuss about food crops, fiber crops, oil crops, and vegetables or horticulture also. Is it clear? Coming to fifth subtopic. Fifth subtopic, that is, in this fifth subtopic, we need to discuss about problems of the farmer. or problems of the agriculture. Agriculture. See, agriculture is a old aged practice. It means we have been practicing from since ages. So it has so many problems. Nearly here we have to discuss about 8 problems. 8 problems. We will discuss one by one. Coming to last one, that is about reforms. Reforms. Reforms mean changes. We did some changes in our agriculture. What kind of changes we did? What is the purpose of changing? See, we have problems. Nearly we have 8 problems. To reduce the impact of the problems, we did some changes. These are comes under reforms. These reforms are 2 types. First one is technical reforms. Second one is institutional reforms. Institutional reforms. One by one we will discuss. Technical reforms means, we introduce some amount of technology in agriculture also. Coming to second one, what is that? Institutional reforms also. Institutional reforms means our constitution and our government has did some laws regarding this agriculture development. Is it clear? Okay, now coming to introduction part. Okay, one by one we will discuss. Coming to introduction part, what is agriculture? Importance of the agriculture. What is in introduction? What is agriculture? We need to define it here. Agriculture is a science and art of cultivation of crops. Science and art of producing crops. Science and art of producing agriculture is a science and art of cultivation of soil, producing crops and rearing animals. You have to include the word rearing animals also. Is it clear? I am repeating. It is a science and art of cultivation of soil, producing crops and rearing or ranching animals. See, it is clear. Second one, what is the importance of the agriculture? Importance. Coming to importance, what kind of role it is playing in India? India is an agrarian country. Why? Because nearly 1/3. It means nearly 60 to 70% of people are engaged in the agricultural activity. It is a primary activity. So it is very important for the India, and also it is producing raw material for the secondary sector, and also it is providing food material for the people, and also it is providing employment for the rural people, and also it is gaining foreign income by exporting spices, cotton and some cash crops, and also it is also playing big share. It is also sharing big share in GDP. GDP means gross domestic production. It means how much of goods and services providing in a particular year comes under the GDP. See, in the GDP also it is playing huge role in the sense its share is very huge in GDP. That's what it is a backbone for the Indian economy also. These are the importance of the agriculture. Coming to types of farming. What is types of farming? Farming means cultivation. Cultivation also there are types. What are those? See, we will discuss one by one here. See, okay. Actually, farming is basically depends on 3 things. First thing is physiography of particular area. Second one is technology. technology. Third one is socio-cultural factors. Socio-cultural factors. What is the physiographic divisions or physiography or landscape? See, these mountains or mountainous areas are not suitable for the cultivation, huge amount of cultivation. See, mountains are playing in India 33% of land occupied by the mountain areas. Coming to plateaus are also not suitable for the cultivation. For cultivation purpose, we need irrigation, but we can't provide huge amount of irrigation here. But we can cultivate what is that rain-fed crops. That's enough. Coming to these plateaus are occupying 27% of the total land available in India. Coming to plains, the plains are occupying a huge role or main role. 41% of the land percentage is occupied in available land in India. See here, these soils are made by the sediments taken by the rivers. You know very well about the plains. We have studied about the Ganga Brahmaputra are Great Plains, and also eastern plains as well as western plains. We discussed these plains are very fertile. Why? Because rivers are taking so many debris and humus. So that's what these soils are very fertile and also very smooth in nature. So the roots of the plants can penetrate easily and they grow very well. These soils are very suitable. Coming to based on the physiography also. So that's what the agriculture is very developed in these areas where we can find plains. It is about physiography. Coming to technology, nowadays technology is very important for sowing season and growing season. We need to plough the land, and also in in growing season we need to protect our crop from the pests. So at that time we need to use herbicides as well as pesticides. For this purpose we need some sprays and technology, and also harvesting season we need some harvesters. So these harvesters reduce the work of the farmer and also they give huge profits. Coming to, and also genetic engineering also there. It is also comes under technique, genetic engineering. This genetic engineering, what people are doing, we are producing different varieties of crops and different varieties of seeds also. What is the purpose of this one? They are giving more yield comparing with the original one, comparing with the old one, comparing with the natural one, and also they are giving short-term crop. It means if you want to cultivate paddy, it takes nearly 6 months in olden days. Nowadays, we are producing crop within 3 months. So, with the help of these technology, genetic engineering. Coming to last one, socio-cultural. Socio-culture in the sense, nothing very simple. It is socio-culture means our culture and culture of the people are also playing important role by cultivating of soil or farming soil. For example, see tribal people are there. Tribal people in Himalayan region as well as Western Ghats region, Eastern Ghats region. They don't sell. They don't sell in the market particularly. So that's what based on the culture of the people, the farming also changes. And also see some people who are living in plain areas, what they do, here see there is a Tropic of Cancer. Here the people used to cultivate mainly wheat for the self-consumption or consumption purpose. But in southern India, eastern India, western India, these people used to cultivate mainly rice Rice. Why? Because it is also a staple food for this particular area people. So there is a based on the culture, based on the socio culture factors, the cultivation of the crop also changes, and also pattern also changes. See, their culture is different. They are cultivating for the purpose of exporting purpose as well as commercial purpose, but these tribal people are cultivating this land for the purpose of self consumption only, based on their culture, socio-cultural factors also playing a main role. We discuss about the physiography of the land and technology of the particular country, and also socio-culture of the particular community also playing important role in the types of farming. Is it clear? Okay, now coming to discuss about what is subsistence farming, what is commercial farming. Now, initially we are going to discuss about subsistence farming. What is subsistence mean? If you know the difference between subsistence and commercial, it is easy to write, easy to understand. Subsistence means self-consumption only, self-consumption or family, for we are cultivating crops, the family for family consumption as well as community consumption, group of people consumption, that's it. They don't sell in the market. So in this cultivation, for cultivation what we need, particularly for cultivation purpose, we need, if you want to cultivate anything, we need water, and also we need some labor also. We will discuss one by one. See, we need water. Second, what we need? We need fertility, and also we need labor, do work, and also we need technology, and we need transport, and pesticides, and also purpose. What is the purpose of cultivation? We need all these things, then only we can cultivate. See here, water. For cultivating water in this subsistence farming, they don't depend on the irrigation. Irrigation means providing water for cultivation. See, India, we have so many dams on the river, in northern India and southern India also. We have so many dams. See what we are doing. We have Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Penna, Periyar, see, Narmada, Tapi. We have so many rivers. We have so many dams also. Through these dams, what we are doing? We are providing water for the crops. That's what we are calling. We are calling it as a irrigation. Irrigation in the sense providing water for cultivation. So, see, what these people are following. These people, for water purpose, for cultivation of their crops, they depend on the nature. Nature means rain. For water, they depend on rain or monsoon. Is it clear? And for fertility, they don't use any artificial fertilizers. They depend on the soil fertility only. Soil fertility. Coming to labor, they don't hire any labor from the other countries or other states. Themselves, family members or group of people do their agriculture labor. Coming to technology, they don't use any technology, genetic engineering or using HIV seeds. They don't use any kind of this technology. And also they don't use any transport sector. Coming to transport, they don't use any transport sector. Why? Because they don't afford it. And also if they use transport sector, it become a very capital intensive. Their capital also increases. So they don't use transport, and they never use transport. They carry their own goods. Coming to pesticides, they never use pesticides. And they never use herbicides also. They grow naturally. That's what the yield is very low. Coming to purpose here, the purpose is self-consumption only. They grow crops for the self-consumption. Self-consumption in the sense their family members, community people, group of people. For the purpose of they cultivate. Is it clear? and also in olden days, and also nowadays also they are following barter system in Meghalaya region. In Meghalaya region, people used to follow barter system. In this barter system, they cultivate some crops, and also they take all the crops, produced crops, to take to market, and they do exchange there. That is called barter system. Still it is existed in the Meghalaya area. Okay, for that purpose they cultivate. Okay, now we are going to discuss about very important topics regarding subsistence farming. Actually, who the people who are cultivating subsistence farming? From the tribal people only in India. Tribal people only they used to cultivate. Tribal people, where they used to live in tribal people, the tribal people used to live in particularly in mountain areas. We have mountains, Himalayan mountains, Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats, and Aravalli area, and also Vindhya Satpura range, Mahadev Hills. In these areas, these people used to live. Nearly in India, we have 700 types of tribals are there. 700 types of tribals are there. How many types are there? 700 types of tribals are there. See what they are doing. They are following subsistency farming only. In subsistency farming, the land patches are cultivating land is very small, and also they cultivate this for the self-consumption purpose only, not for commercial purpose. And one more thing we need to discuss about it here, that is, it has different name. It has also two different names. First one is slash and burn agriculture. Slash and burn agriculture, or it has shifting agriculture. What is that? Slash and burn and shifting. See what they do in hilly areas, mountain areas. These tribal people used to select a particular patch of land, small patch of land. They do deforestation. They cut the plants, and what they do? They do some cultivation. Up to 2 to 3 years, they cultivate. Already we discussed. What are the major factors? What are the characteristics of the subsistence farming? So they cultivate following that characteristics, and also after 2 to 3 years, what will happen? The soil fertility will decrease. If the soil fertility decreases, the yield also decreases. So these people used to select one more patch of land, and also they start same thing, deforestation and starting cultivation. And also after 2-3 years, it lost its fertility, and again they shift their cultivation. That's what we are calling it as a shifting cultivation. They are shifting their agriculture area, cultivated area. That's what we call it as a shifting cultivation. And also they do, after cutting the forest, what they do? They burn the entire debris from the plants. That's what we are calling it as a slash and burn. It has slash and burn agriculture, shifting agriculture. And also one more thing, after 10 years or after few years, these people again come to first place. Why? Because if you give gap for the soil itself regains its fertility by natural process. Okay, that's what we are calling slash and burn agriculture, shifting agriculture. Is it clear? Shifting, we are shifting. That's what we are calling as a shifting agriculture. We are burning it. That's what we are calling it as a slash and burn agriculture. It has different names. And also one more thing we need to discuss about here. It has one more name, that is primitive subsistence farming. Okay, this already we discussed about the characteristics of the primitive subsistence farming and the shifting farming and slash and burn farming. Okay, one more thing we need to discuss here, that is it has different names in different area. In the worldwide we have 6 different names, and India also we have 10 different names. What are those different names? We need to discuss here. The thing is that it is very important for the examination point of view, the MCQ point of view. They should ask you. You have to remember. See, See here, in this area, Central America and Mexico area, we call it as a different names for primitive subsistence farming or slash and burn agriculture or shifting agriculture. It has different names in the worldwide. First is slash and burn agriculture. Slash and burn agriculture. See, it has a different name in Central America, Mexico region. It is called milfa. Coming to Venezuela, in Southern America, there is one country that is Venezuela. In Venezuela, it is called as a conuco. In Brazil, we call it as a Brazil area, we call it as a roca. In Madagascar and Central Africa, we call it as a masoli. Okay. In Indonesia, we call it as a ladang. In Vietnam, we call it as a ray. Ray. Is it clear? It is Vietnam. In Vietnam, we call it as a ray. Indonesia, we call it as a ladang. In Central Africa and Madagascar area, we call it as a masole. And coming to Brazil, we call it as roca. Venezuela, we call it as a conuco. And Mexico and Central America, we call it as a milfa. It is regarding worldwide. It has different names. In India also, it has different names. Nearly, it has 10 different names. We will discuss one by one here. In India, we have 10 different names. 10. For this slash and burn agriculture. See here. In this primitive subsistence farming has nearly in India 10 types of names. In northeastern area, we call it as a zooming cultivation. In Manipur area, we call it as a Pamlo. And coming to Jharkhand, in Jharkhand area, we call it as a Kuruva. In Chhattisgarh area and Andaman and Nicobar area, we call it as a Deepa. In Odisha area, we call it as a Odisha, we call it as a Bringa, Pamadobi. Coming to Andhra Pradesh, we call it as a Penda or Podu. Coming to Western Ghats, we call it as a Kumari. In Western Rajasthan area, we call it as a Valur or Walter. In Madhya Pradesh area, we call it as a Dahiya. In Himalaya area, we call it as a Khil. I am repeating. In Himalayan areas, we call it as a Khil. Madhya Pradesh area, Dahiya. In Rajasthan area, we call it as a Volar or Walter. Coming to Western Ghat area, we call it as a Kumari. Coming to Andhra Pradesh, we call it as a Penda or Podu. Coming to Odisha, we call it as a Bringa and Pamadobi and Kuman. And coming to coming to Chhattisgarh, we call it as a Chhattisgarh. In Bastar area, we call it as a Deepa. And Andaman Nicobar areas also, we call it as a Deepa. Coming to Jharkhand, in Jharkhand area, we call it as a Correct. Kurwa and eastern, northeastern states we call it as a zooming cultivation, and Manipur, in that Manipur we call it as a palmlo. These are the different names for the zooming and slash and burn agriculture. It is very important for the MCQ point of you also, and also it is very important for the map pointing of map pointing view also. Is it clear? Now we are going to discuss about substensive farming. There is one more sub classification, that is intensive substensive farming. What is intensive substensive farming? Itself saying that intensive means we are cultivating crops intensively. What is the need of cultivating crops intensively? Intensive means we are cultivating crops twice or thrice a year. What is the need of that? See here, already we discussed. What is that? What is that? In monsoon area, particularly in monsoon area, the population is very high. For example, India, China, Japan. In this area, the population is very high. So, if the population is very high, population is very high, and second thing, these areas having water facility through monsoon, and also they have a lot of fertile soils or plains. Is it clear? So population is very high, and water source also there, and fertile soils and plains also have in this area. That's what is the problem here. So to satisfy the hunger of the people, these people is to cultivate particular small patch of land in twice or thrice in a year. Are you getting my point? That's what these intensive substensive farming is practiced in the South Central and South Eastern Asian countries. Is it clear? Why? Because the population is very high. To satisfy the needs of the population, they are following intensive substensive farming. What are the characteristics of the intensive substensive farming? See here, already we discussed. What is that? If you want to cultivate anything, what we need? We need water, and then labor, and then transport, and then technology. See here, for water purpose, they never depend. They depend on the irrigation. They provide irrigation for the crop. Labor, it is a labor intensive crop also, but the family members used to participate in the work, agriculture labor. Coming to technology, sometimes they are not fully developed. Sometimes they use technology. Otherwise, manual labor they do. And coming to packet technology. Packet technology means, they use HYV seeds to get high profit, HYV seeds, and also they use fertilizers, and also herbicides, and also pesticides to get more product. And transport, sometimes it is also not fully developed. In transport system also not fully developed, 50%. What they do? They carry their own goods, or they use primitive tools to carry transportation. And also final thing, purpose. What is the purpose? What is the purpose of cultivation? For self-consumption only. And if there is any extra cereals or pulses or extra crop is there, they used to sell in the market. But it is not cultivated for the selling purpose, but it is cultivated for the self-consumption purpose only. Is it clear? Here the land, very important point. Here the size of the land is very, very low. Size of the land is very small. Why? Because here the population is very high. So By inheritance, these people are getting small patch of land. For example, for X person is there, some X is there. He has 10 acres of land. He has 10 sons. Now, what will happen by inheritance? These 10 acres of land divides into 10 patches of land, 10 small patches of lands. And again, these 10 sons having 10 sons or 10 family members. Again, these 1 acre is divided into 10 parts. That's what the agricultural land is divided into small patches of land. That's what it is not able to cultivate extensively. Okay, we will discuss while discussing about the problems of the agriculture very deeply. Is it clear? It is about the intensive subsistence. Intensive means cultivating twice or thrice or very intensively. Why we are cultivating intensively? To satisfy the growing population, hunger. For that purpose, what we use here for water, we depend on the irrigation. Labor, we depend on the family. Technology, not fully developed. What is that? Pocket technology. HYV seeds, you use HYV seeds and artificial fertilizers, herbicides and pesticides. Coming to transport, it's not also developed. Purpose is self-consumption is, and also the land parcel is very small. Is it clear? Okay. Coming to second one, that is about commercial farming. What is the commercial farming? Commercial farming. See here, itself saying that we are cultivating crops for the commercial purpose only. For example, I give you some example based on the area. Also, the intensity of the commercial crops will changes. The amount of commercial crop is also changes. See here. In northern India, Punjab and Haryana, we cultivate rice. For example, rice as a cash crop or commercial crop. But in Odisha, we cultivate it as a primitive subsistence farming or intensive farming. Is it clear? Based on the area also, it changes. Already we discussed while discussing about the patterns or types of farming, the factors which are influencing the types of farming. Physiographic divisions while discussing about the physical structure of this soil. Okay, coming to commercial farming. So in this commercial farming, see, the points are same. Irrigation, they use irrigation. It is a capital intensive. Why? Because see here, I'll tell you, capital intensive. It means it needs a lot of money. What is about labor? See, labor. For labor, they hire different labors. It needs semi-skilled labor and skilled labor. They hire from the different states also. In India, we are hiring labor from the Assam and Odisha people. They do a lot of hard work also. Coming to technology, they use different machinery for the sowing season and also growing season and harvesting season. You use different types of technology and different types of machinery also. And coming to here also, they use pocket technology. Definitely they use pocket technology. Pocket technology means HYV seeds and what is that? Artificial fertilizers, herbicides and pesticides. Definitely he use to get more crop yield. Coming to transport, he must use transport. Why? Because it is commercial. Commercial means he used to sell in the market. So in this sell in the market, if you want to sell in the market to maintain the freshness of the particular crop, definitely he need transport, well-developed transport system. What they do? With the help of this transport system, his transport is yield to the market or his transport is yield to the industry. Is it clear? Okay. Coming to self-consumption. What is the purpose? What the purpose means? Commercial purpose, selling in the market. Is it clear? Coming to size of the land. You know, in commercial farming, we use nearly thousands of acres of land. That's what for maintaining all these things, for maintaining this much huge land, we need huge amount of capital. That's what we are calling it as a commercial farming. It is a capital intensive, labor intensive, and also we use packet technology and also we use labor. Is it clear? Okay, coming to last one, that is about plantation cropping. That is about plantation cropping. What is plantation cropping? See here, plantation crops. See, plantation means planting a particular crop. For example, what's the difference? Here also we are planting, but here we are planting. For example, banana plantation, banana, tea, coffee, and also we call it rubber. These are the examples of plantation cropping. For example, if you plant this kind of plants once, we can harvest up to 30 years or 40 years. We can get yield every 6 months or every 3 months. For example, tea leaves, we can pluck tea leaves 3 months, every 3 months we can get profits. And same, it is the plantation crop is an example of commercial cropping. That's it. No need to read separately for this. Is it clear? For example, see here, it is also capital intensive, it is also a labor intensive. Where is it? Capital intensive and then labor intensive. Capital intensive, labor intensive. See, capital intensive, labor intensive. Here also irrigation. We provide a lot of irrigation also, and we use HYV seeds also to get more profits. And transport, we need more transport system. Why? Because see, for example, it is a tea plantation. We need to transport these plants are harvesting leaves or plucked leaves within a short span of time to the factory or market. Why? Because to maintain the freshness of the leaves. Is it clear? It needs transport system, and also it needs, what is the purpose here? For selling purpose only, market oriented only, or industrial oriented only, transport system. Is it clear? It is one of the example of commercial farming, that's it. But we have to remember the names of the plantation crops: banana crop, banana, coffee, tea, rubber. These all comes under the plantation crops. For example, see, it is a capital intensive. It needs lot of capital. Why? Because he has to maintain so much of land, and also he need to buy so much of machinery, and also we need to buy HYV seeds and fertilizers, pesticides and herbicides. So it is a capital intensive, and also to maintain this huge form of land, he needs help from the labor. In the labor comes under semi-skilled labor, skilled labors we need, and also after harvesting the crop, immediately he need to send the market, or immediately he need to send the industry to maintain the freshness. That's what he need well-developed transport system also. And also he need irrigation. Well-developed irrigation system also he needs to develop this kind of commercial farming or this kind of plantation cropping. So we can see this kind of plantation in Assam also. Assam area and Karnataka area, Tamil Nadu area, we can see rubber plantation area. We can see how they are maintaining huge patches of land. Is it clear? It is, if you know this table, already I prepared this table and also I am giving in the comment section also. See here, if you know the difference between subsistence farming and commercial farming, it is very easy. So coming to subsistence farming, they never use this kind of techniques to get more profit, to get more product. It is for the self-consumption only, it is for commercial only. It is for self-consumption, it is commercial. This is the difference. You know what we are discussing here, it is about the 3 types of farming. Types of farming, there are 2 types: subsistence farming, self-consumption. Second is for selling in the market, that comes on commercial farming. Is it clear? In commercial, these are the characteristics. These are intensive subsistence farming or subsistence farming. These are the characteristics. Is it clear? I am going to clear it. Okay, next it is about the cropping seasons. How many cropping seasons we have? We have nearly 3 cropping seasons. It is about third subtopic, cropping seasons. How many seasons we have? Cropping seasons or cropping patterns. Here we have three types of patterns, three types of seasons. What are those? Three types of seasons. What are those? See, Rabi, Kharif, and Jayad. Already we discussed about it. We in this chapter or in this topic we need to discuss what is the sowing month, what is the harvesting month. First point. Second point, sowing month and harvesting. Second point, what kind of crops we are cultivating. Crops we are cultivating. And third point, where we are cultivating. It is about geographical location. Is it clear? If we discuss this, it is very easy. See, Rabi crop, it is also called as a winter crop. It is also called as a winter crop. In winter season, we harvest is. See, we can remember like this. Winter season, Rabi crop. And also, what is the sowing season? Here, the sowing season is October, November. What is the harvesting season? March, April. See, coming to Kharif, it is also called monsoon crop or rainy crop. Rainy. What is the monsoon season here? June, July. In this season, these people used to sowing the seeds. And when they harvest? September, October. Is it clear? Coming to Jayad. Jayad is a short crop. It is cultivated between the Kharif crop and winter crop. It is a short term. They cultivate in April and May season. It is a summer crop. It is called summer crop. And also very short crop. So coming to crops, what kind of crops we cultivate here? See, in Rabi crop, in Rabi season, we cultivate wheat, barley, gram. These are the main crops. And also we cultivate peas also. These are the main crops we are cultivating in the Rabi season. Coming to Kharif season, we cultivate in Kharif season, it is rainy crop or rainy season or monsoon crop. Monsoon means we have lot of water. So that's what we can cultivate. Water intensive crops. For example, what are the water intensive crops? Rice. Rice is a water intensive crop. And second, jute. Jute is also a water intensive crops. And so sugarcane also water intensive crop. We can cultivate. And also we can cultivate grams. What are the grams here? Grams. Black gram, green gram, red gram. What is black gram? Black gram means urad. Urad is called as a black gram. What is green gram? Moong. Moong is a moong dal or moong is called as a green gram. What is red gram? That is arhar or tur. Arhar or tur. We call it as a red gram. And also we are cultivating soya bean in this season. Soya bean and also groundnut. Groundnut also we are cultivating here. Is it clear? Okay, coming to Jayad season, what kind of crops we are cultivating? See here, it is short term. It is a short term crop. So in this season also we are cultivating fodder crops. Fodder crops means we use these crops for feeding animals. Second, we are cultivating muskmelon, watermelon, and fruits and vegetables we are cultivating. Is it clear? Coming to geographical distribution, where we are cultivating Rabi crop, where we are cultivating Kharif crop. See here, mostly in India, north and northwestern India, we are cultivating Rabi crop. North and northwestern India, we are cultivating north and northwestern India. See, northwestern India, coming to Punjab, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, some parts of Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir. These areas we are cultivating Rabi crops. Rabi. Coming to Kharif crops. Kharif is water intensive crops. See here, Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats area we can cultivate. See here, West Bengal, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Maharashtra. In these areas we cultivate Kharif crops. Coming to Jayad crops particularly they cultivate in this area. But in this area we can't cultivate Jayad crops mainly. Why? Because we have water throughout the year or throughout the seasons. That's what we can't cultivate Jayad crops. Is it clear? It is about the cropping patterns. Is it clear? In this section we discussed about the introduction. What is agriculture? What is the importance of agriculture? Second, cropping patterns or cropping types or farming types. There are 2 to 3 types of farmings are there: self-consumption purpose or commercial purpose, or subsistence purpose or commercial purpose. We discussed about it. And then we discussed about the cropping seasons. There are 3 seasons. We discussed very briefly. Okay, it is okay. In this next section, I will discuss about the upcoming topics. Is it clear?